This conference will now be recorded.
So let me just give you the quick overview of what we have done till now, and then we will start our next topic for today. So we have set up the source system first of all. Let me quickly go to the source system. Let's try to log off to avoid confusion. Okay, so this is our source system. The first thing that we have done is because in our case, this is a sandbox system. This is a completely new system. We don't had any data in ECC. There were some other company codes which are already created, but just to avoid the confusion, we created our own company code, right? So we created our own company code called as CF01. Okay, and which we want to see how exactly this CF01 would be migrated and how that real-time replication will take place. So this is our company code that we created. Okay, and we posted some documents in our source system also. Okay, so if I go to my FB03, okay, and if I see the list of documents, we try to create some documents, various different documents. We tried to create the GL accounting document, we created a AR invoice, we created a AP invoice, and one of the AP invoice we also included asset accounting. So these are the kind of scenarios that we want to see how exactly the initial load will take place for these scenarios, and then going forward how the real-time replication will work on these scenarios. Okay, so we posted few documents in our source system, in our source company code, and then in order to prepare this source system, definitely there is a list of SAP nodes that needs to be implemented. Okay, and how you can check whether those SAP nodes are already in place or not. So you'll be able to see in the package. If you remember, I told you fin underscore cfin underscore integration. This package will be only able to see when the corresponding nodes in the source system are already provided by your technical team. Okay, and once these nodes are applicable, you will be able to use a transaction called as cfin img, okay, where you'll be able to tell the system which company codes would participate in the data migration from this system to the central finance system. Okay, so for example, in our case, okay, I think this one I have not explained you. I was trying whether it is working fine. So I already tried some scenarios, but I'll explain you from scratch. Okay, so forget about this. I think in our last session, we have not done this activity. So from here, I will start. So till now, we have configured the new company code in the source system. We posted some documents. Okay, and then we created the corresponding company code in our target system also, because from this source system, which target system we want to use and which are the company codes that will be getting the data in the target system, for that we have created a target company code, which is CF03. Right, so in our target system, this is our target system. In the target system, you would be able to see in SPRO a completely independent folder for central finance. Okay, so this central finance system can be the receiver or it can be the sender. So if it is a receiver, you will be doing the configurations in the target system. If it is also the receiver, sorry, if it is a receiver, you will set up the target. If it is a sender, you will be configuring the source system settings. Okay, but in our case, this is a target system. That is the reason whatever configurations we need to do, all those configurations we need to do in the target system settings. Okay, so in the target system, we already configured a company code. Let me show you which company code we configured. So we have created CF03. Okay, this is what we configured in the target system. So our company code CF01 will send the data to CF03 in our target system. How will the system know this? The system will know this based on the mappings that we have created. So in our previous session, we also completed the mapping part. Okay, so if I take you to this mapping part, we discussed that there are three kinds of mappings. Number one is key mapping, second is value mapping, and third is cost object mapping. Okay, so what is the difference between key mapping and value mapping? Key mapping is all about master data mapping. Okay, your customer, your vendor, your GL account, cost center, profit centers, all those things are configured using this key mapping. Okay, then you have value mapping. In the value mapping, most of the organization objects, like which company code will post to which company code, which maybe business area will post to which business area, okay, which accounting principle, which ledger, which document type. So all those configuration objects, they are mapped in the value mapping. So in our case, what we have done is, if I show you the value mapping first and then the key mapping. So in value mapping, we already assigned some organization objects to each other. For example, company code. So if you come here in Bookers, you'll be able to click on this button. And here you can see if our source system is EPX client 800, what mappings are performed, that you can see. So you can see external company code. External means from the source system, CF01 will post to internal code value CF03, which means in the target system, company code CF03 will get the values from CF01. Okay.
And this
Same
is the,
way,
sorry, this is the target system you're showing us, right? Vikram? Hello?
we are, this is the target system. Yes. See,
Yeah.
whatever mappings and all doing, we are directly doing in the central finance system, target
Correct.
system. Yes. In the source system, there is only one activity that we do. That is create a CFIN IMG. If you remember, we just need to go to that particular activity and we need to add our company code and we need to tell the system that for this company code, we want to replicate the data.
And you have
That's
to
it.
add
All
those
other
notes.
configurations, we are doing.
And you have to add the notes, right?
Yes, notes, obviously.
So
Definitely, yes.
you have already added all those notes prior to making this.
That is a technical activity. So your basis will be doing that. You just
Okay.
need to,
So, okay.
yeah, you just need to verify whether those are also already implemented or not. If they are not implemented, then none of your scenario will work.
And you have a list of those notes also, no?
Yeah. Even I provided you the documentation also, Nikhil. So in
Okay.
that documentation, each and every note, there is a one header note, and then within that note, you know how SAP works, right? So
Okay.
go for the top note, and within that, again, it has a relevant, like it has a what you can call subordinate node. Again, within that, there are multiple nodes. So same thing will work here also.
Okay.
But that is all technical. You don't need to worry about that because that is
Yep.
to be taken care by basis and all. Only thing is, if your basis is also new, they are not knowing how exactly central finance works. There only you need to come into the picture and tell them that these are the important things that you should implement before I use the source system.
Gotcha.
Okay. So yeah. So like this, there are various different mapping objects. Okay, you can see there is a posting key, there is a document type. So you have a choice whether you want to provide the mappings or you want to keep the same value as the source system. If you want to keep the same value as source system, if you remember, we discussed in this define mapping actions, you need to tell the system whether to keep the data or to map it, or if possible map it or clear data. These are the four options that you will be getting in the mapping entities. So I think these are all the things that we discussed in our previous session. Our today's agenda is to perform the initial load. Okay, initial load means whatever documents are already posted in your source system. Okay, so in our case, it is just 1 week old system, the source system, right? But when it comes to the actual implementation of central finance, wherever you will be working, it might be possible that this source system is being used from 10 years, right? And if you want to perform the initial load, what you need to do is you need to ask the question to the client whether in the initial load they want to replicate all the 10 years of data or they only want to bring the last 2 years of data in that target system. Okay, so based on that discussion in the source system itself, if you remember, in the source system itself, we need to go to this transaction cfin img. Okay, if this transaction code is not available, I told you there is a corresponding view that you need to open. I'll again tell you. So in the general settings, this is where you need to tell the system exactly where is it open? Yeah, this one. So in this system, you need to tell it very clearly that for your company code, from which year onwards you want to transfer the balances, and from which year and period onwards you want to transfer the line items, each and every document. Okay, so for example, let's take this example. You are using this CF01 in your source system, and this CF01 was implemented in 2010. So in your source system, this company code is active from last 10 years. Now you want to implement central finance. Obviously, whatever transactions you post from now onwards, they will replicated in real time to your target system. But if you want to bring the previous data, if you want to bring the previous year's data in your central finance instance, then you need to perform this initial load. Okay, so the question that you need to ask your business is how much data you want to load in your target system. It is definitely not required to load all the data. It is up to the customer whether they want 2 years of data, 5 years of data. So maybe they will say, okay, balances wise, we want everything. So what you will do is balances are required from 2010 onwards. So you'll come here and you will say the balances should be migrated from 2010 onwards. But each and every document that has been posted, if you want to replicate that, maybe customer will tell you that, okay, from maybe one last year. So currently we are in 2020, let's do it from 2019. So you'll come here, you will say from 2019 onwards, from the start of the first period, I want to migrate all the document line items also, in addition to the balances. So from 2010 to 2019, it would be only balances. From 2019 onwards, it would be balances as well as documents that will be migrated as an initial load in your target system. Okay, so this is a line that you have to create. You have to come here, you have to tell the system that my company code will, the balances will be transferred from this year and the documents will be transferred from this year. This is just straightforward. You just need to write 12 here. I'll explain you later on if required. This is just a technical step where you tell the system how much data should be stored in the intermediate tables. What happens is whenever you tell the system that I want to do the initial load from this period onwards or this year onwards, whatever data is applicable, that has to be stored in the intermediate tables. And the question is for how many months or how many days you want to store. It is not about days, it is months. Periods is months. So how many months you want to store that data in the intermediate tables. So by default, SAP provides 12. You can just provide 12 here, no problem. Okay, I'll talk about this general ledger reconciliation. We already discussed previously, but I will give one example. And last one is initial load has been completed or not. So in our case, we have still not started the initial load, and that is the reason this is untick. Once we complete the initial load, because this is one-time activity, you're not going to do the initial load on day-to-day basis. Initial load would be done only once, right? So for initial load, once your initial load has been completed, you can come here and you can tick this indicator. The system will know that now onwards, I don't need to consider this company code for the initial load. Okay, and again, this package size is standard, which tells the system how much data to be transferred. Like, for example, if I want to transfer 1 TB of data in each packet, how much data should be there? So this is a technical prerequisite, which will unnecessarily not burden the system. The system will be kind of, there will be multiple processes which will work in multiple different packages. So no need to worry about this. You can keep it as it is, whatever it is provided, 50. Okay, so this is the only thing that you need to set up in your source system related to the initial load. Okay, you need to tell the system from which date onwards, from which year and from which month onwards you want to replicate you want to load. See, there is a difference between load and replicate. Replicate is real-time replication. Load means the previous data. So from which year onwards you want to load the balances, and from which year and month onwards you want to load the document line items. Okay, that is exactly what you tell the system here. All the other settings would be done in your target system, and obviously in between, which is a tool which is doing all these activities, who is doing the loading, who is doing the replication, so that has been done by your SLT. Okay, and for SLT there is only single transaction, which is a technical transaction. As a functional consultant, we should never touch this. Okay, so maybe it is also possible that in your practical, in your production system, when you are working on the actual project, you are not authorized even to access this transaction, because this is very critical. What is happening even in this test system is, every day I am setting up something, but next day I am seeing that someone has played with it and I'm not able to replicate. So till last week, what was happening is, I was able to execute the initial load, but replication was giving problem. Now yesterday onwards, I'm facing the reverse direction. Replication is working fine, but initial load is not working. So today I might not be able to show you practically how initial load will work, and that is the reason I'll come to that. Today's target was initial load, but I'll start with the replication today because that is working completely fine. So you'll be able to understand the entire replication today. Although in the project you will be doing the initial load first and then the replication, but in our this one, because currently initial load is not working and technical team is checking that, so I want to start with the replication today. But just to give you the overview, this is where all the loadings, okay, you can see these are the three tables which are loaded and replicated. One is cost object table, so that whenever a cost object is created, it should be it should be replicated in real time, and previously created cost objects should be loaded. Same way, this is accounting interface, FICO interface, and this is CO interface for secondary postings. So here you'll be able to see the status. You can see the status here. So what its status it is showing you? It is showing you for accounting document. As of now, only replication is working. Only replication has been activated. Initial load is not activated, which means whenever you want to transfer the initial load for the accounting documents, this will not work. Okay, while if you see the cost object, it is allowing you both replication as well as initial load. Both are active. For secondary postings also, replication as well as initial load, both are active. So this current action will tell you what exactly is the current status of this tables, whether it will work only for initial load or it will work for replication, or it may be only replication and no initial load. So there are different statuses which can be controlled from here, but again, as I told you, not to touch this, otherwise it will create a problem. So from here you control it, data provisioning, and here you tell the system whether the replication should be active or load should be active. You want to suspend the initial load, you want to suspend the replication, you want to stop or you want to start the replication. All these things are controlled from here, but we should never touch this on our own. This should be handled completely by the SLT or the basis team. Okay, so this is just for your information. This is exactly the middle system which is allowing us to load and allowing us to replicate. Okay, so it is configured from the single transaction called as LTRC. Okay, any questions till now? Okay, no questions. Let's go to the target system now. So in our target system, all the initial load related settings are done here. You can see there is a separate folder for initial load. So what initial load you want to do, whether you want to do the initial load for the management accounting, which means CO postings and objects, or you want to do the initial load for the financial accounting. These are the two important things that you can control from here. But as I told you, I don't want to touch this today because we will not be able to complete. The system is not supporting. I will maybe show you one error, what error I'm getting. So if I try to do the initial load for financial posting, okay, and if I'm going with this activity, First activity is when you try to do the initial load, there are sequence of steps. So number one is data extraction. Okay, so it will extract the data from the source system that needs to be loaded. Number two is it will perform the mapping. So it will tell you whether the mapping is properly available or not. Third is it will do the simulation posting. So it will not post exactly, but it will try to post and it will tell you whether it is correctly posting or not. And finally, you will say start posting, which means the system will actually post the document from the source system to the target system. But currently, even if I'm going for the step number one, which is to extract the data from the source system, for my initial load group, I'll explain you. As of now, I'm just entering CF01. I created this. So if I try to execute this, I'm getting these errors. Okay, and these are all technical errors. This has nothing to do with our company code, because even if you try other loading objects which are already initial load has been performed, anything, you can try RELI or you can try 1000, whatever you want. I'm getting this error in each and every company code, which means it is not a company code relevant error. It is an error which is related to the technical object, which is for the loading. So initial load, in short, is giving some problem. It's already reported, and maybe we will get the solution in 1 or 2 days. Okay, otherwise I will explain you the end-to-end replication part. Initial load also works on the same background, but only thing is there are very few changes that we will discuss when we talk about the initial load.
So just one thing I noticed, Vikram, the it says fiscal year variant not provided. I think we did provide it, but it looks like it's a FI related. I mean, a function. Is it a functional error or
No,
is
no,
it
no.
a?
It is for functional. It is showing you the functional, but the reason, if you try to see this,
Uh-huh.
it is saying there is no fiscal year variant specified. But where is the question? Which company code we are not specified the fiscal year variant? If you are not specified the fiscal year variant, then how we are able to post the documents? We are able to post the documents in our source
Okay. Is
target
it?
also.
Do we have to specify it for each and every company code that is there in the system, whether we are using it or not?
No, no, no. See, again, maybe I'll think we
Maybe.
should
Yeah. Oh,
stop.
don't worry. Don't worry. Let's move on. Let's. It's not
Yeah,
relevant.
because otherwise we'll
Let's
go
move
into
on.
the separate discussion.
We'll
The
we'll
thing
look
is,
at it later on. We'll
yes.
separately.
See, initial load you can do for all the company codes together. There are two options. You can do for all the company codes together, or second is you can see for selected company codes. So in our case, I used selected. That is the reason it is asking me for which company code you want to try. But
And
irrespective, whichever company code you try, it is giving the same error. So it is not a functional thing. It is something in the technical that it is not getting actually passed. The data is not actually getting passed from the tables, and
got you.
that is the reason
No problem.
it is not able to get a single line, and it is saying that these are the errors.
And in any case, this is only going to bring balances. It's not
Balance as well as documents.
balance as well as documents of the previous years.
Previous years, yes,
Correct.
not the real-time replication. This
Not
is
real time.
something
Real time. Yeah, got you.
previous data. Real-time replication is working completely fine. So that is the agenda that I should concentrate today,
Yeah,
because
let's do that.
the test system, we don't know tomorrow initial load will work and replication will not work. So that is the reason whatever is working, let's try to concentrate on that and let's try to understand that in complete detail.
Agreed.
Okay. So now what is real-time replication? Real-time replication means immediately as soon as I post any document in ECC, it should be replicated in our central finance system. Okay, so let's take a simple example. I will go to transaction. So whatever scenarios we developed, asset accounting, AR, AP, we will try to post everything and we will see whether it is getting replicated to the central finance system or not. Right. So what I'll do is simply I'll go to transaction FB50 or maybe F-02. We already posted some documents in our ECC system, and I will tell the system to copy one of the document. This was the first document that we created in ECC. Okay, what is this document? Let's see. This document is crediting the bank account and debiting the refreshment expenses account, along with the cost center and profit center also. So if I try to save this document now, you can see the document number 1 and ending with 3 has been created. And since this is my source system, I want this document to be available immediately in our central finance system. Okay, what I can do in order to find whether this document has been created in our target system or not, I'll go to the target system, I'll go to FB03. In the document list, what I'll do is I will provide the logical system. In our case, the logical system is EPX client 800. Right, this is our ECC system. So I want to see all those documents in company code CF03. Here the company code is CF03. In source system it was CF01. So I want to see all documents which are coming from this logical system. Let's try to execute it. Enter. So you can see system is showing me this many number of documents which have come from our source system. So I'm able to see document number ending with 2, but I'm not able to see document number ending with 3. So maybe there is some error due to which that document is not able to replicate. Now, how will I find out what is the error and how will I solve it? Where should I go for identifying the errors?
AIF, whatever that is.
Exactly.
AIF.
Application Interface Framework is a transaction where I should go and see what exactly is causing the problem. So I'll go to AIF. The transaction code, as I told you, is / and you need to provide mandatorily, then /AIF/IF, which is interface monitor. If you just go to this transaction, and if you want to see the values, I will restrict it because it is showing a lot of transactions. So I want to restrict it to, let's say, from last 2 days. Okay, so I want to see only those documents which are posted from 4th to 5th. Posted doesn't mean posting date. I mean the entry date. So those are entered from 4th to 5th of. So there are only 42 documents. Good. Let's try to double click here. Okay, and it should show us the document that we posted just now. Let's see. So it is showing 4th of August. No, let me do one more thing. You can see there are 2 options. Display only errors. If I click on this, display all the messages. So even if the document was posted successfully, it will show me here. Okay, so refresh and try to double click here. Let's see if anything is posted on 5th. Yes, you can see the document is posted on 5th and it is showing successful. Let's see what is wrong, why we are not able to see that document in FB03. So let's double click here. You can see, oh sorry, this is not our company code. This is company code RELI 2020. But what about the company code that we used? We used CF01, right? Let's try to see. Document display. Yes, we use company code CF03, but why it is not replicated? So let's go to error handling once again.
So Vikram, when you say we use CF01 or 3, is it based on the source system company code or the target system where it's posted?
No. See, when we posted this document, we posted in the source company code CF01.
So we basically reposted.
No. In ECC, we have posted. In ECC, we are not reposted. It will be reposted in central finance.
That's right. So it will be reposted with CF03.
Exactly. Yes, it will be reposted in central finance in company code CF03.
And the document number will not gonna be same. It will be a different reference number will gonna be in the target system.
Definitely possible. The reference number would be same. See, in our case.
Exactly, reference number will gonna be same.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. It should come here. Now what happened to replication? So RELI, it is showing. Why it is not showing our company code? Let's try to refresh it.
Because nothing posted in today's date.
No, just now we posted, no? Just now we
But
posted, document should
but
come.
this is we posted in this system, not the other system. Other system is a target system, so you should be able to see it here.
Yeah, so let's do one thing. Let's try to find out what exactly is a problem. So we posted one document here, which is this one. First of all, as soon as the document is posted in your source system, it will go to the transfer table. Transfer table is that table which should be storing the data which needs to be transferred to the central finance. So if you remember, we discussed this table previously,
Can we call
which
it
is,
this table is a staging table?
no, this is called as transfer table. Staging table is for non-SAP related postings. When it comes to SAP related postings, because it is ECC system that we are using as a source system, instead of staging, we should call it a transfer table. Okay, so ACC HD or maybe IT itself. So header and item table. And I want to know whether the document that we just posted is appearing here or not in the transfer table. So CF01, because this is a source system, I'm checking in the source system. You can see this is EPX. So let's try to execute. Now there are only 8. That document is not at all relevant for replication. Now I think the replication also got some problem due to which it is not being replicated. So good, at least we got one scenario. Let's try to see what exactly went wrong. So this replication is already triggered. Am I missing something? Just give me a minute. So if I go to fourth to fifth, this is fine. Let me make it fifth to fifth. I don't think it will make any difference. There is only one, and that belongs to another company code. In the source system settings, if I go to the source system CFIN IMG, I have not made any changes there, right? So CF01 2020, this is fine. Just give me a minute. Let me just try this one. And then if I go to F-02 and try to post with reference, enter and save. So document number 100 has been posted. 4. I will go to the table to check whether this is now appearing. Yes. Okay. So the problem is this tick, I think we removed just now, because I told you that I already done the initial load. And so replication will only work once your initial load is complete. Logical, right? Replication should only start working once your initial load has been completed. And that is the reason this tick, what you are able to see in, where is that? Maybe I closed it. So ECC, I need to go to the ECC system. This is my ECC, and within ECC, I need to go to CFIN IMG. So this tick should be active. Initial load has been completed, then only system will start doing the real-time replication. So now you can see if the real-time replication is on, as soon as you post one document, we have posted this document just now, not this one. So 1004 is a document that we posted. So document display, this is a document that we posted. Now this document, first of all, it will come to the transfer table. So this is our transfer table. I refreshed it already. You can see the 2 lines are added, and these 2 lines are related to the new document that we just now posted, right? Which means now this document will also be triggered to the central finance, which means if I go to my central finance system now, okay, obviously I can first check in the interface, but let's try to refresh it. You can see this.
And Vikram,
When
the
I
table,
come to-
that's the table you showed us, transfer table, that's hold the header and the line item information, right? Both.
there are two tables, one for header and second for lines.
Got it. And the one
One
you're
is,
showing is a line item.
yeah, this one I'm showing is line item. You can see item
Got
table.
it.
IP.
Okay.
Second is CFIN ACC HD, which is for header. Okay, so here also if you just go for execute, and then you would be able to see, maybe I'll do this with user, because company code is not appearing here. Company code is a combination. It is actually the combination of company code, document number and all. So with my user ID,
So
you can see
this is
this.
the, okay. So Vikram, this is the interim stage uh, uh, before it actually posts into the target system, or this is happening simultaneously.
No, the flow is first when you create a document. If you remember that, let me show you.
In the source system, you created a document, okay, and it comes and sits here when you.
Just give me a minute. I'll
Sure.
clarify your doubt. I'll tell you the reason why it is going to this table also. Where is that PPT? Okay, just give me a minute. Let me open the PPT.
Sure.
Yeah, this one I shared with you already. Yeah, same thing which we are discussing.
Mhm.
If you remember, I told you that there are three kinds of mappings. Number one is FICO, number two is controlling, and number three is cost object. Right. In
Correct.
addition to that, you can go for COPA and other mappings that are advanced scenarios we will discuss. So these three are important: cost object, FI, and CO.
Uh-huh.
Now, when it comes to FI, okay, when it comes to FI, we have in the source system, we have table BKPF and BSIC. Okay, but you know, in S4HANA, we have a lot of additional features, AC.K, there are a lot of other fields. So if I just take the values from BKPF and BSIC, that will not add value, right? If I definitely want to transfer the data to the AC.K table with much more information, that is the reason SAP has created these two tables as in the source system itself. You can see this is exactly what we are looking at. CFIN underscore ACCHD, CFIN underscore ACCIT. Why these two tables are added? Because BKPF has very limited number of fields that are not enough to pass on the data to AC.K. In S4HANA, we have AC.K. And that is the reason whatever you post here, it will definitely go to BKPF and BSIG. But in addition, it will go to these transfer tables. So stepwise is you posted a document here, it will come here, from here it will through your LTRC, it will go to the central finance system. If in the central finance there is no error, it will directly go and reside in the universal journal. If there is any error, then it will come through this interface. So you
Okay,
can use PIS to monitor the errors.
so prior to it being processed by the replication server, what you are showing is nothing but the same source system document in a staging table, kind of like a pre-processing.
Exactly. Just
And
to make
this
it
is in the source system only. You're seeing that right now.
in the source, you can see this is a source system.
So that ACC HD and ACC line item IT, those tables were in the source.
No. They were not earlier in the source. They are only active once you implemented those new SAP nodes.
Correct. But because of those notes, you have these tables you're viewing these staging tables in the ECC system only. And
Exactly.
okay.
Source system.
Now it's clear.
Yeah, you can see this. This is my source system only.
Cool. Yeah, EPX is your source, and the dev 400, I think, is your.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep, makes sense.
Okay, so once this document is available here now, the next thing is I should be able to go to my target system. Let me open my target. Yeah, this is my target system. So I'll go to FB03. Okay, and I'll do the same thing, document list for company code CF01, but my logical system is EPX client 800, which is my ECC system. Okay, let's try to execute. Sorry, in target, it is not CF01. In target, it is CF03. We mapped CF01 to CF03. So execute, enter. You can see this document coming from the source system has created another document in the target system. So in the target system, my document number is this in company code CF03. But actually speaking, this document is coming from the source. You can see sender. These are all sender details. Sender logical system, sender company code, sender document number, sender fiscal year. Right? So this document is posted in Central Finance. It came from this source system, from this source company code, from this document, source document number, and from this source fiscal year.
Vikram,
Okay.
he uses FV03 transactions, right?
Yeah, I currently use FB03.
So, and which is mostly is mapped with the BKPF table with in S4 as well, right?
Right.
But so they added these new fields, sender document number, sender company code, these two fields. I never
Yes.
noticed that before.
Yes. No, it is only if you activate those Central Finance related nodes.
Oh, but this is S4 system you are showing
No,
to us.
even in S4, some of the SAP nodes based on the version you need to activate before it is
Okay.
ready to be used as a target system.
One more question, Vikram. So these number ranges, you are configuring number ranges in the this 10003 in target system. Is you have given a number range there, no? In OBD
Right.
whatever. I mean, it has nothing to do with the number range here because okay, just this document is a little close to each other, so I thought
No.
maybe there's
See,
a
it has
connection
nothing to
there too.
do. We map the
Nothing.
document type, if you remember. See, these numbers are coming from the document types. In the source, the document type was SA. In the target, also the document type is SA. Okay,
Correct,
how
but
system determines this? I can say if the source document type is SA, I want to bring it as AB. If I want to do that, I have to provide the mappings. But in my case, what I
you
have
have
done is
keep mapping or whatever that you have used that
it-
functionality.
exactly, yes. If
Okay,
you go
so
for yeah,
okay,
yeah. So if you go for
keep
BLAT,
data or whatever that part you're saying.
exactly. So BLAT, if you can see document type, and if you open this, you can see keep data.
Correct. Now, but still you have to give the you have to just like the configuration in the source target system is just like I mean in layman's terms, it's like doing a greenfield implementation only just for the FI bit. Forget, I'm not correct.
100%.
Okay.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
100%. You have to first set up the target system so that it can be used to replicate the data.
Okay.
Okay. So for example, now I'll tell you the real time things what can come. So we said keep data. Now let's assume in the source system we have created a new document type, and that document type is not available in the target system. Okay, then in that case it will throw the error. Right? It will go into the AIF interface and it will tell you that the document type is not mapped. Let's take this scenarios. This is exactly what you need to understand. If you understood this, then central finance is not a big deal. You just need to understand how these mappings are working. So what
Correct.
I'll do is I will just try to create one new document type by copying the document type SA. I'm just saying SB. SB already exists. SC. SC already exists. S1. Okay. Document type S1 is what I created. Now I will create a, sorry, I created this in target. I don't need to do it in target. Save, I removed it. Let's go to the ECC. So FPKP to create a new document types, new entry, S1, sorry, Instead of new, it will ask a lot of questions otherwise. I'm just copying the essay. Okay, so let me copy this and go to S1. Okay, all other things are same. Only thing is, if the document splitting is active, then definitely it will also ask you those things. Okay, so maybe if you want to do that also, let me go to SPRO, because document type, if you are creating a new document type, it has to be extended to the document splitting settings also. So for that, general ledger accounting, business transactions, document splitting, classify document types, this one. Okay, and just make sure that if S1 is there or not. S1 is already there because we copied, but it is not copied properly. So I want to provide the same values as SA, right? Same as SA. That's it. So now I will be able to use this newly created document type. So I'm again doing the same thing, F-02. Okay, and instead of SA, I will go with S1. Let's try to post with the reference. Just make sure that this is S1. Enter, and try to save. So document number, this one is created. Where I should be able to see this document now?
In the monitor.
Before monitor, let's verify.
Staging ACC HD and ACC IT.
Right, transfer tables. So if I refresh this, you can see last document. Okay, so it is it is active for the replication, which means now if I go to my target system, so this is our target system, and if I try to see all those documents which are coming from EPX client 800, okay, you can see that document is not coming here. Okay, definitely there is something wrong due to which document is not coming. Where I can go and find out what is the error?
Interface monitor.
Interface monitor, exactly. So I'll go to interface monitor and I'll do the refresh. You can see 3 documents. Double click on this. Okay, and you can see there is this new document. Okay, which is, as of now, it is showing this in process. Let's try to refresh it. Still in process. It should not take that much time. Okay, let's try to restart. Okay, and try to refresh. Why it is taking so much time? Normally it should immediately show you it is red. Okay, let's try to double click and see if it is showing any error. It is still not showing any error. Maybe background it is too slow in the. So what will happen is, let's try to read. Collect the data. It is already collected the data. Should not be the problem. Now this should get changed to red, and here it will clearly show you that document type is not properly mapped.
But now it's not showing us? Or?
No, it is just showing in process. It is still not posting anything, not trying to post anything. Restart, yes. Let's try to go out and come again.
Go out and come again.
Yeah, but I think that will not make any difference. It normally works in the background, so it is taking so much time. So display all, and I want to restrict it to just, or maybe even not 4th, just
There
for
it is.
5th. Yeah. So I just want to see the data which is posted on 5th. Enter. Only 3 documents, correct. This is my interface. And here it is still showing in process. Okay, we will come back to this. So it is just like as I told you, the error would be that the system will try to post this document, but because we said keep data, it will not be able to find the corresponding document type in S4HANA in the central finance system, and that is the reason it will give you the error here. The error would be that this document type is not properly mapped. Okay, just trying last time, otherwise I'll show you some other scenario. So this is I shown you for document type. Let's try to see the same scenario for GL account whenever you create a new GL account. So if you create a new GL account in your source system, see currently whatever GL accounts we created, we mapped in our last session. If you remember, we have done the GL mapping. Okay, and that is the reason the GL accounts are working fine. They are able to replicate. You can see this has been replicated. Document number has been posted. Why? Because all the mappings, cost center, profit center, everything worked fine. Now let's try to create a completely new scenario in ECC with new set of master data and see what different errors you will get and how to resolve those errors. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll create a new GL account. Right, so I already have this many GL accounts. I'm just creating one new GL account in expense. So I'm copying this, creating 4003, and this is, let's say, my travel expense. Okay, all other things I'm keeping same. Same way, I will create another cost center. So I'll go to transaction KS01, and we already created one cost center previously, CF01-1. I'm creating CF01-2. So last one I created for laptops. Now I'm creating, let's say, for desktops. So starting from 1st 2020, copy from CF01-1. So this one I'll just make it as the desktop. Okay, let's try to save it. Now I'll post one document in my source system, F-02, post with reference. I will go with 4 because I don't want to take document type S1. Document type SA is fine. This one is fine. My expense account I want to change, and even my cost center I want to change. So I want to change this to 2. And how can I change? Okay, maybe otherwise I'll go with the scratch. So FB50, posting date 05/08/2020. Let's say reference is test, GL account 2000, and second GL account that I want to take is 4003 that I created as travel expense. So this would be credit, this would be debit with amount, let's say 10,000. Okay, and I need to provide the cost center. So my cost center would be CF01-2. So there are 2 separate master data that I created in this transaction, but this data I have not mapped to my target system. So we are expecting 2 errors. Number 1, system will tell us that GL account 4003 is not mapped properly to the target system. And number 2 is cost center CF01-2 is not mapped to the target system. Okay, let's try to save it. Enter. We have not created this as cost element, which is also required. So where is our GL account creation? FS00, profit and loss 4003. Let's click on edit cost element, enter, and this should be primary. Okay, now I'm coming to this one and try to save it. It's giving the same error. Maybe we need to go out and try once again. Whatever date, I don't need to worry. This is fine. This is 4003, and this is 2000. This is debit, this is credit, whatever amount. Okay, and then you need to go to cost center CF01-2, enter. This is fine. Let's try to save it. Okay, so the document has been posted in company code CF01. Now let's see whether this document is posted in our S4HANA system also. So again, I'll come here and try to refresh, enter. See, that document is also not posted. What is the document number? It is not this one. Ending with 6. So this document is not created here. If it is not created, we need to go to the interface monitor. Let's try to go back. Okay, so as of now, there are only 3 messages. Let's try to refresh. You can see it has become 4. Let's double click on this, open it. This is still in process. I think there is something wrong, but this you can see clearly that it got stuck in error. What do you think? What would be the error?
Cost element not created, or
Cost element, second.
GL account, right?
GL account, cost element, cost centers. These are some of the new things that we created, right? So let's try to double click and see. Number
but
one,
cost center will be part of key value. I mean, the master data, right? Which is what
both. Yes, yes. Either it is. See, we are not worried here whether it is a key or value. Those needs to be mapped, right? Both are keys. These are
right,
not
but
value.
okay.
So
Where does MDG come into the mix here?
No, MDG is both. Within MDG, you have a key mapping and you have a value mapping.
So MDG is already installed here.
MDG is already in place.
Okay. All right.
I'll tell you why, where exactly MDG will come into the picture and what are the other important things needs to be considered from the MDG point of view. But the thing is, irrespective of whether it is a value mapping or the key mapping, those must be mapped. Then only you will be able to come here, right? Otherwise, if the mappings are not there, you will get this kind of errors, right? So now CF01, you can see general ledger account does not exist. With general ledger account, so you will double click on this and it will clearly tell you the one in red is this GL account, which we created just now. So this GL account is not properly mapped to the target GL account. So where I should go for this? Where should I go and map this? Is it a key mapping or a value mapping?
Master data, which is key mapping, right? No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Value is configuration. Okay. Yeah. Key mapping.
So I'll go to key mapping. Okay, you can use the transaction code also. Once you are familiar with these transactions, most of the times you will be using the transaction codes. I'll tell you what are the different transaction codes. So if you go to mapping, let me bring the transaction codes here. Okay, so you go to key mapping and you can see MDG underscore KM underscore maintain key mapping. KM stands for key mapping. So part of MDG, KM underscore maintain. If you open this, this will open in browser. We already mapped some of the elements previously. So currently we are planning to map our general ledger account. In that case, I'll go to general ledger account master and I need to provide my source business system, which is EPX. Okay, and which GL account I want to map? I want to map. Yeah, if you remember last time when we were mapping this, I mapped on the chart of account and GL account, keeping company code blank. So when I was trying to replicate this yesterday, I was getting errors. So now just make sure that you are filling all the values. So for CF01, GL account that we created is 4003 and company code is CF01. Okay, this is the perfect combination which we want to see whether the combination exists or not. So there is no key mapping exist as of today. I will say add row and I will map this to our target system. Our target system is this, and here I need to provide with which GL account I will map this. So I will come here CF03. Now if I want to create parallel GL account for refreshment expenses in the target system, I have to first create that GL account. Otherwise, what do you want me to do? Is it fine if I map this to refreshment expense just for the scenario sake, or you want
Yeah,
me to?
no, that's fine. You can
Yeah,
map it.
whatever GL account you map here, that will come. It will not check whether it is a travel or a refreshment or all. It is your responsibility to make sure that the mapping is correct.
But
And it is
normally these will be one-to-one mappings, right? I mean,
it
in our instance, where you
not
one company code two.
no, no,
For
not
ECC,
necessary.
huh?
Not necessary. Let's say in your source system you have travel air, travel train, travel road. This many number of
Oh,
GL.
okay. So
The
here you will
cargo
have only one mapping. Okay,
possible. So I'm not saying there is any hard
possible.
fast
Makes
rule.
sense.
That is policy. Yeah.
Now my question is, there are this is fine for training purposes. One map. What is the strategy when you have 20,000 of these accounts?
I
So
already shown you one transaction. Let me come back. Just give me a minute.
okay.
So this one I saved it. Okay. Okay, it is just showing that this two GL accounts. See, it is very clearly showing you that these two GL accounts are mapped to one target GL account. Are you getting it?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
4003 as well as 400, they are assigned to this single GL account. Okay, so perfectly fine. Now coming to your question, if it is one by one, you have to do this. What if there are multiple different GLs that you need to map?
Yeah,
So if you
because
remember,
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no problem. So if you remember, we discussed there is a, anyone remember that transaction code? You remember that transaction code? CFIN underscore MDG underscore maintain, or it is CFIN underscore map underscore maintain. Just 1 minute, little bit confused. MDG underscore map underscore maintain, or last one, let me try CFIN underscore map underscore maintain. This is also not working. Okay, let me check what is the transaction code. You'll be able to get that transaction code. CFIN underscore map underscore maintain. Okay, let's do one thing. I'm not exactly remembering the transaction code. Let's go to SE93 for the transaction code. So it is star map underscore maintain. This one, manage. Sorry, it is not maintain, it is manage. FINS underscore CFIN underscore map underscore manage. This transaction code, if you remember, we discussed if you want to display what your mappings are done, if you want to generate a template, if you want to upload the mappings. So for example, in our case, our mapping entity is general ledger account, right? So general ledger account, source system is EPX. And as of now, I just want to show the mappings, whatever are created. So I'll just click on execute. See, it will show me all the mappings. So for example, the current one that we maintained is CF014003. You can see this line. This is what we maintained just now, right? Now, if you want to maintain thousands of the mappings in the general ledger account, I have to first generate a template. Okay, so let's say this is gl.csv. Okay, and try to execute it. Please enter the valid directory. Yeah, sorry, I need to specify the desktop. So desktop and then whatever name I want to give. So let's say this is my GL. Open and execute. So this will generate a file on my desktop, gl underscore csv. This is a file. I will fill this file. Okay, what are the different columns here? So I will go to data, text to columns, delimited, and it would be semicolon. You can see these are few columns which system is asking. So my source chart of account, source GL account, source company code is assigned to what target chart of account, target GL account, target company code. So all those 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, whatever number of GL accounts you have, you will fill this template, and then there is the option to upload this template. Right? You will go for upload mappings.
And all this is happening in the MDG space?
Yes. See, whenever it comes to key mapping and value mapping, SAP is using MDG.
But you can you do it without MDG?
I'm coming to it. So I know why you are asking this question. Okay, maybe let's talk about this.
No, whenever you want to come
No,
to
no
it.
problem.
I don't
No
want to
problem.
break your thought. Yeah.
No problem. Since you raised this question, let's try to understand this very clearly. See, if you are using central finance, there are two important things. You cannot use them without SLT. You cannot use them without MDG. Okay, so for mappings, all key mappings, value mappings are using MDG, and all cost object mappings are using cost object mapping. That is a separate, that is not MDG. So the thing is, now maybe you are, or not you, but your customer will be worried that, oh, in that case, I may need the MDG licensing.
Correct, extra
Right?
license, extra money, yeah.
Which is a separate cost.
Correct.
So the answer is no. Answer is no. If you are using MDG for just key mapping and value mapping, it is very much part of the central finance itself. There is no separate licensing requirement. Okay. Why? When MDG license is required, see, currently you can see there is a lot of manual work we are doing. For example, we created a GL account in the source system. We have to go to the target system and create a GL account manually, and then we have to do the mapping also.
Correct.
Right? If we are using MDG full-fledged licensed version, we can create the scenario like whenever a new GL account is created in my target system, or maybe whenever a new GL account is created in my source system, it will be automatically replicated to the target, and the mapping will be also created. That is part of MDG. So one single place where you will maintain the master data, and it will be available with all the systems. If you want to go in that direction, then you need the MDG license. That is because you are using MDG for master data maintenance, not only for mapping. So whether you are using MDG for maintenance of master data or just for mapping, that is a very important question here.
So for mapping, it is free. For maintenance, it is not. Simple.
Exactly.
Okay.
So without MDG, you will not be able to do the key and value mapping. But good thing is that MDG, what we are talking about, is just a mapping tool which is pre-delivered with the central finance without any additional license.
So what was the example? Sorry, what was the example you gave for maintenance? Then you mean to say like if 20 other company codes are added, you can still use the mapping, right? So what was your example for maintenance?
No. My example is not for company code. My example was for GL account.
GL account, sorry.
So just now what we have done is we have created a GL account in our source system, and we got an error that there is no GL mapping available in the central finance system.
Correct.
So we manually need to go to the second system also to create a GL account.
Right.
Now just assume you have 20 different systems who are posting to central finance.
Right.
If you create something new in your central finance system and you want automatically this should be available to all the source systems, okay, that is the power of MDG master data maintenance. You create a master data in one system at the central place, and that same master data would be replicated to all the different source systems.
Oh, so the reverse, you're saying?
Reverse, or it can be anyways. It can be any direction. It totally depends upon how you want to set up. You want to set up from here or to there or from there to here. But that is master data. When we are talking about central finance, we are not doing the master data replication. What we are doing is we are doing the FICO interface and cost object interface, not all the master data. For all
So
that is the reason MDG is the subset. What we are using in central finance, it's a very small part of what MDG can do.
So what it is doing right now is only the mapping piece.
Exactly. It is only
So,
doing the mapping, key mapping, nothing else. It is not automatically creating the master data in some other system.
okay. So yeah, because you have to create, okay, because you will have to create the either via the template or manually you will have to create the GL accounts is what you're saying.
Exactly. Yes.
If you are using the other bit, the full the license portion, all the creation in the source systems, once it is created at a particular place, it will be created in those source systems as well. Is what the benefit is. Is that what I'm understanding? I'm I lost you.
Itself, yes, 100%.
Okay.
MDG itself is a central master data team, central master data management, instead of having separate teams who are creating their own master data. See, in our case, what we are doing, the source system is, let's say, the team responsible to maintain the source system will create a GL in the source system. So whenever a new GL is created, it has to be communicated with the target system. Otherwise, our mappings will fail. Right? So that has to be created manually. That is something if you want to automate. If you want to automate that, once any master data is created at the central place, it is automatically distributed. So normally, when it comes to MDG, it is not replicated. The wording is distributed to the other systems through IDOCs and the other technologies. It is not using the replication tool. It uses the IDOCs and other technologies.
Okay.
So just to summarize what we discussed, MDG is a very big tool. We are only using part of the functionalities for which there is no separate license required. If you want to use all those new features, then SAP recommends to go for MDG as a separate full-fledged license product. Okay, so what we have done is we have mapped, right? So the error that we were getting related to the mapping, let's go back and try to. So what I'll do is from here itself, I will restart. Once I made the mappings, I will ask the system to try again. So restart, yes. Let's do the refresh and try now. You can see again there is an error. Okay, now the error would be related to
Cost center.
cost center. You can see the error is related to the cost center. CF03, CF101-2 does not exist. Okay, why? System is, see, if you don't map it, if you are not provided this combination, system tries to post in the same cost center, but there is no such cost center available in the target system. And that is the reason it got stuck. So what I need to do, again, I need to go to the key mapping. In the key mapping, this time I want to map the cost center. So for cost center, I will go to this one. And what is my source cost center? So it is controlling area CF01, cost center CF01-2, and company code CF01. Okay, if I say show, it will not show me anything. Let's click on add row, and here I'll be able to map my cost center. So again, the option is you can create a new cost center or you can assign the same cost center which is assigned to CF01-2. So I think here I should create a new one just to show you how exactly it will work. So let me go to KS01. So the one that I created previously was, I think, laptop. So this time I'll create it as a desktop. Okay, and I'll just copy it from the laptop one. What was the name that we gave last time? It is lab, and okay, this is not a profit center, this is a cost center. So admin department of laptop division. So KS01, this is desktop admin. Okay, I'll copy from laptop admin. Okay, all the other things will remain same except the description I'll change. So from laptop, I'll just change this to desktop. I'm not worrying about profit center at this moment. I'm just assigning CF03 cost center is desktop dash ADM for CF03. Okay, let's try to save this. Okay, so the mapping has been done now. Let's try to refresh this. So restart, yes, and refresh. Okay, still it is showing some error. Let's try to double click. It is giving the same thing. Is it not saved properly? So what we maintained here is,
I think the dates maybe does not exist on 5/8. Is the cost center date validity
no,
date? Okay.
no. This is, anyways, we don't have CF02, CF01-2 in our target system. So just 1 minute. Let me try to restart once again. Yes. And try to do the refresh. Still it is throwing error. CF03, CF01-2 does not exist. What about this? Is it saved or not? Changes to the mapping objects are saved. So from EXP client, CF01-2 is mapped to CF03 disk underscore admin.
Can we see the master data in CF in the target KS03? Can we do that and see the master data?
Just now we created, na?
Okay.
This is what exactly we created just now, right? In the target.
Correct. So
Dash admin. So is it correct? I maintain disk underscore admin. Maybe someone has keep data, it seems, in the cost center. So it is not taking the mappings, it is taking the exactly same. Let's go and see.
you have to go to the cost cells.
Yes. Yeah, let's see. For cost center, what is the mapping? So for cost center, I will go to central finance, target, mapping, and define mapping actions for the mapping entities. KOSTL is my cost center. KOSTL, it is not showing. So cost center, it is showing this one. Let's go to the mapping entity, map if possible. This is fine then. If it is map if possible, then it should work. Let me.
But it says cost center ID. Why it's not giving the table?
No, that
name?
is
Same
that
thing.
is that is yeah.
Okay.
Wordings are here or there, but it is one and the same thing.
Okay, gotcha.
So cost center, let me double click on this. Let's see it is mapped or not. No data link is determined. Navigation is not possible. What data link? Okay, something wrong. Let's try to restart this. AIF monitor. And let's display on all messages, and this one should be 5th of August. Okay, it has changed. So let's click on this accounting documents. No, there is something wrong. No data link is determined. Navigation is not possible. Why? It is showing green. Then why it is not able to replicate? Let's see if the cost center has been identified properly.
In your posted document, was it the same cost center?
Yeah, it was CF01-2, so it is still not taking the new one. CF03 dash, this is fine. Okay, let me just try to create the same cost center, although I know this is not correct, but just wanted to see why it is going to CF03-2, CF01-2. So
See,
KS01.
can you KS03? Can you get it? Show that one you created.
Sorry,
Can you show the one you created?
which one?
The one CF03, right? You created in the
No,
target system.
no, I created this one. I created desk-admin.
Oh, so let us see that once again.
And I mapped it. Yeah. So if you want to see this, let's go to display.
Yeah.
Desk-admin. This is what I created, and I mapped this here.
Okay.
You can see this is mapped. CF01-2 is mapped to desk-ADM.
Cost center admin. You have created a profit center laptop. Okay.
Yeah, so this is fine. Let's try it now because I created the cost center. So let's see what it is doing. So restart. Yes, and then refresh. Now it is posted. Okay, it is posted where it is posted. It is posted to which cost center? That is a question mark. So let's go to FP03 and 10004. This is fine. What about the cost center? Just a minute, it got stuck. Yeah. So cost center. Let's bring it here. It is wrongly posted to CF01-2. Why it is not taking this value? Maybe something I have done wrong here. Let me try to remove this and create once again. So let me delete these mappings. Anyways, now it is posted. So new document should take a same correct value. The mapping group or the selected would be deleted. Okay. And I want to map CF01, CF01-2 save. Okay, add row. My target system is this one. And I want to map this to CF03. Maybe a cost center that I took, is it wrong or what? Let me copy as it is. KS03. Let me just copy this as it is and provide it here. Okay, and company code CF03. Yes, I think there was some problem here. Earlier it was not even showing me in the list. Let's try now. So if I try another posting with the same document with reference, so F-02 post with reference, this is fine. Let's try to post this and save. So document number 7 was posted. Let's go and see in our error handling tool. First of all, it should show us 5 entries instead of 4. It is showing 5. And you can see it is also posted with document number 1005, and this 1005, we want to see what is the cost center which has been derived. So change layout and bring the cost center here. Okay, and see, no, it is also wrong. So something wrong here. Let's see what are the other objects for cost center. There is only one. I have to check why this mapping is not working. Earlier, the first one worked fine. If I show you the document that we posted yesterday, I was actually trying this, whether it is working fine or not. Let me show you one thing. So the document that I posted yesterday, okay, if I go to document list, and if I try to show you the documents on CF03, let's take this first document, which is this one. Let's try to double click. You can see here the cost center. See, here the cost center is perfect, the new one. In my source system, what was the profit center? What was the cost center? If you want to see the source document, see, this is my target document. Maybe just forget about this as of now. In short, this is where you need to do the mapping. If your mapping is correct, system will automatically determine the cost center. You can see in this example itself. Now let's try to understand the subsequent, what exactly will happen. So this is your central finance replicated document. This is a document which was replicated. Okay, maybe if you want, I can show you the document that was replicated just now. So the last document which got replicated is this one, I think, which we are just now replicated. Now you can see the GL account, we provided additional two zeros in our target system. Okay, based on this, system has determined the new GL accounts. In our source system, the GL accounts are 4 characters. In our target system, the GL accounts are having 6 characters. Now, if I want to know that this document came from where, if I have multiple non-SAP SAP systems in my source systems, and if I want to know in my central finance, this document relates to what? This document relates to which particular source system and which particular document. What was the source document that was posted in the source system? You can just click on this header and you will be able to see this clearly. So this document is coming from, you can see logical system ECC. While we are looking at you can see here, we are looking at the target system. In the target system, it is showing us that this document came from this logical system. And in our logical system, you can see the combination of document number. So this is 10-digit document number. This is your source company code, and this is your source fiscal year, right? And who has created in the source system? Okay, sorry, this one would be target system. This is not a source system. In the source, if you want to see who has created the document in the source system, then you need to go into the source system and you need to see the document in detail. So for example, normally,
we cannot drill down.
Sorry, what should I do? Drill down. Yeah, I'm doing that.
Okay, perfect.
If you double click on this, it will take you to the source document automatically. But for
Right.
that, there is a technical setting that your basis and LTRC has to do so that it should be drilled down. But in this case, I was trying it. If I double click on it, I'm getting this message. Original document not in the current system, because the original document was not posted in the current system. It was posted in some other system. But otherwise, if this is activated, this will directly take you to the source system and you can see what was the document posted in the source system itself. Okay, but what you can do is just to cross verify, you can click on this and you can just go and open this document in your source system. You will get the reference document number. Okay, this is your reference document number. So you can see here we posted in GL account 4003. Let me open both together. So this is our source document, which is replicated in central finance. We posted this document in company code CF01. Here it is replicated to CF03. We posted this document in GL account 4003. Here it is mapped to 5 times 0 in the mapping table. We posted this document to 2000. It is posted to 2000 and all. We posted this document to a particular cost center. So even in this case, I'm not sure why it is not working, but I'll show you another example where it is completely working fine. So the cost center, whatever you mapped in the key mapping, that will come here. Even your profit center, whatever mappings you have done, based on that, system will populate all this data for you. Okay. Even let's try to cancel this document now. Let's try to reverse this document now. The source document itself, I want to reverse. Okay. So for reversal, what I will do, I'll go to FB08. and I will reverse this document, which is ending with 7. It will be the reversal reason, that is in the current month itself, 01, and let's try to save it. Okay, so it has reversed and it has created document number 8. Let's go and see in our whether this has become 6 or not. So refresh, it has become 6. You can see this document is just now posted. Let's open this document. So document number ending with 6 has been created. Let's go to document number 6. Okay, so I'll refresh this. If it is not refreshed, then I need to go back and try to come again. So document number 6 in our target system. This one. Let's double click on this. Okay, and you can see here, this is a reversal of the original document. So if you reverse the document in the source system, immediately it will reverse the document in the target system also. Are you getting it?
Yes.
That is real-time replication. Whatever you do in the source system, it will be automatically triggered in your target system. If it is a normal posting, if it is a reversal posting, whatever you do, that will be replicated in your target system.
If someone reverses the document in the target system,
There is no reverse execution. You need to take care of that. If you do something directly in the central finance, it will not match with you, it will not reconcile with your source system.
but it should get activated again, right? For
Sorry,
if somehow it it was reversed in the target system, then the document should again become activated.
No, how it will get activated? Because the triggering point is when the document is created in your source system or when it is changed in the source system. If you already reversed it, it will not generate the reverse posting. No? System will not know what exactly has been done in the source system for this document. Let's try it.
Okay, I got you. I got your point. Other thing that how can we stop that no one can enter any document in the central finance? Is there any check available in the system that it is only for copying the data?
Adam, that is through authorizations.
Okay.
You will not allow anyone to create a new document in the central finance. But again, there are many scenarios which we will introduce now once we understand these basic things, that there are many such scenarios in which you want to actually do some transactions in the central finance. For example, monthly closing. For example, central payments. You want to do all your payments from the central system. So in that case, you would not like to block someone to post a transaction, right? There are some scenarios in which you need the users to post the transactions directly in the central finance system.
Then how do you reconcile with the source? If you make the payment here in central finance, then how does it? How will your that means the source of reporting will only be through central finance then, because otherwise your source will not have the payment.
Exactly. So what happens is if you activate central payment, although we will discuss this in detail maybe tomorrow when we will understand AP and AR replications. But if you are using central payment, what happens is immediately in your source system, the documents will be cleared as soon as those are posted, because anyways you don't want to show them in as open item because payment part is not handled by the source system. So if you want to see the open items, if you want to see the payments have been done or not, everything you have to see in the central finance system itself.
So you have to create some kind of dummy accounts for the clearing, or?
No, it is automatic.
Because okay, then let's wait till that. Let's not jump the gun. You're going to show that, right? So
yeah, just remember it will automatically clear. How it will do, we will see later on.
Okay, that's more important. Yeah.
Okay, let me try the scenario that Adam asked, that what if I want to reverse this posting. As I told you, it will not generate the reverse posting, but let me just show you. So I want to reverse this document in the central finance system directly. Reversal of accounting document not possible. Just a minute. You want to reverse the document? Yeah, you can see this. You want to reverse the document that were not created in the separate log cannot be reversed. Reverse the document in the system. You can select the accounting document in your source system, a reference transaction, and then you'll be able to reverse. So in case
This
of
makes
reversal,
sense.
yeah, in case of reversal, system is not allowing at all. But other postings, for example, if you directly post something in your system, in that case, that will not stop you. For example, let's say it is not allowing you the reversal, but you have created the adjustment entry. Just to reverse this posting, you created a adjustment entry. So system will not stop you for the adjustment entry. But as long as it is reversal, good thing is it is stopping you, and it will tell you that if you want to reverse this document, reverse in your source system, and then only it will be reversed in the target system.
Okay, so if because it has a reference to the source
Right.
system, it is not letting you reverse it here. But if you want to reverse it, you can always, since that was a F-02 manual entry, you can always do a manual again. It won't stop you.
Exactly. This is simply as same as your MM and SD document. So you created a purchase order, you created a MIGO document, but MIGO document is relevant to the MM document, right? FI document is always attached to MM document. So if you try to reverse the FI document, system tells you you cannot reverse this in FI. Go and reverse this in MIGO, right? MR8M, or for MIGO we use MR8M. So that is something which is working in the plans also. If you want to reverse it, you have to reverse in the source system. But just make sure that whatever other adjustments you are doing in the target system, it will not create the reverse posting. It is the direction is only one. The data is flowing from the source to the target. There is no bi-directional thing here. There is no direction from target to the source. Adam, I think you got this point.
Yeah, I understand. And Vikram, other thing is that the document which remained in transit, like the one we saw earlier, how could we clear it off? Like, because if we try to repose the same document, it will not happen, or otherwise we will miss the document. I'm sure that there's these kind of error, uh,
No, sorry, Adam, can you come again?
so the document that I couldn't able to post, that's still showing an orange, still
Right.
showing orange, right? So how can we
Yeah.
get rid of that document from the AIF? So
Now,
we can.
if you solve the error, if you already solved the error in the background, then it will work. For example, why this document is stuck? This document is stuck because of the document type, right? There is no document type S1 available in the target system. So I have to see what are the different ways in which I can solve this problem. Okay. So one option is you create, if it is mapping, then you need to go to the target system. I'm just showing you one option of solving this error. So I'll create a same document type in the target system also, and this will solve my issue, right? We created the document type, this one, I think. Yes. So if I copy this and change this to S1 and save it, and obviously, as I told you, this needs to be also done in the document splitting settings. So SPRO, IMG, general ledger accounting, business transaction, and this one. So for S1, I need to maintain the same things which are there for SA. Okay, so now if I try to trigger that, I think it should work. But normally what happens is it is showing in process, which is a problem. If it is in process, definitely you need to contact your basis why it is not getting converted to RAID or a flagged. Okay, but if it is RAID, then it will clearly give you the error message that the document type is not maintained. You can take the corrective action, then you can come here and you can say restart. Okay, once you say restart, let's refresh it, and then you'll be able to see this is also posted now. So I think this was a document, and you can see document number 7 has been posted. So that is the reason. Sorry, Adam.
What was the problem?
Problem of document type. We created a new document type, right? S1
And
in our source system.
other thing that Vikram, I fail to understand that what's the purpose of that setting then? We did before that keep data. What I understood that if we do the setting of keep data, although if it is not exist in the source system, it will not create any problem in the target system.
No, no,
Please
no.
correct me if I understood.
No, Adam,
Right.
let me give you one example. See, let's take example with the document type itself. So let's say these are my document types: A1, B1, C1, and D1. These are my 4 document types. Okay, and these are my source. And here I have my target document types. Now the question is, number 1, whether you want to assign the same document types to the target system or not. If you want to keep same, if your requirement is like this, A1 would be assigned to A1, B1 would be assigned to B1, C1 would be assigned to C1, and D1 would be assigned to D1. In that case, why should we unnecessarily go for mapping this multiple different document types? I can simply tell the system keep data. Keep data means whatever data is coming from the source system, use it as it is. Keep data means if you want one-to-one mapping, exactly same mapping, whatever is the code in the source system, I want to copy the same in the target system. That is called as keep data.
That means that A1 still should be there. It still has to be there in the target system, right?
Yeah, this document types must be same, so they should be there in the target system. If these are not available in the target system, then you have seen what error we got, right? In our example, we created S1, and system was trying to post it in S1, but there was no S1 document type available in our target system. That is the reason it got stuck.
So it just saves you one step. That's all, basically.
Exactly.
It
Right.
just saves you one step. Otherwise, you would have gone to the next step and said map A1. You would have put A1 to D1 or whatever.
Right. So one is keep data, second is mapping obligatory. Normally you will use this mapping obligatory if your mappings are completely different. So here you have A1, here you have Z1. Here you have B1, C1, D1, S1. Here you have Z2, Z3, Z4, Z5 like this. Right. So in this case, there is no other option. You have to maintain everything manually. Right. So you'll go for mapping obligatory. But in other cases, let me give you one last example, which is mapping if possible. So you know that these mappings are going to be common. Whatever mappings are standard mappings, this would be as it is. Okay, but if I create a new S1, I want to map it to S2. So in this case, what will happen is, in the mappings, you don't need to provide this. Wherever there is nothing maintained, system will try to keep the data. System will only go for the mappings wherever the keep data is not possible. That is the reason it is saying mapping if possible.
Not getting you on the last one.
Okay. See, if your most of the mappings are same as source system and target system, if they are getting the same values, okay, then if all, question number 1 is, if all the document types of source and target are same, then you will go for keep data. Is it clear?
Yeah.
None, even a single document type, if it is not the same, then you cannot use keep data.
Yeah.
Now, in that case, what you will do? If I have total 100 document types, 99 document types are as it is. There is only one document type S1 which is having a separate mapping, S2. So in that case, even if you don't maintain all others, even if you don't maintain all this, it is completely fine. But you need to maintain this and you need to say mapping if possible. So what system will do? If the source document type is A1, by default, it will try to go for A1 itself. same. It will try to keep the data. But wherever keeping data is not possible, for example, in S1, let's assume there is no S1 there and we have mapped S2. So system will take S2 from the mappings that we have provided. So good thing is, if I go for mapping if possible, I don't need to maintain all those 99 entries because those are 1:1. Only thing is, whatever are different, only those things I need to maintain and I need to select mapping if possible.
Okay. Yeah.
Clear now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and last one is clear data. This is for those objects which are not mandatory. For example, we cannot say document type clear. We cannot say, okay, if it is A1 here, I don't want to provide any document type. Document type mandatory is a mandatory field, right? Without document type, we cannot go ahead. So clear data we cannot use for those objects where we don't want to, where the field is mandatory. But let's take example of a business area. You are using business area in your source system. In your target system, you don't want to use the business area.
Yeah.
So what you will do? Any business area, I want to just clear data. I don't want to maintain anything.
Yeah.
So this is the fourth option.
Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, where were we? In the error handling tool, this has been posted correctly. So you can see when the document is posted correctly, it will clearly show you the document number also. Okay, and as I told you, if you want to see the source document, you can go to the target document. You can go to FB03. Normally, if it is a completely customer system, you can drill down from here directly to the source system also. In this one, he has not connected that RFC. That is the reason system is not able to take you there. But good thing is, at least it is showing you that this is a document that was posted in your source system. So you can open the source system parallelly and you'll be able to see there. Okay, so from GL point of view, if you are okay, tomorrow what we will do is we will see AR and AP, how to post a document in AR and AP in the source system and how it would be triggered to the central finance system. What will happen when you make the payment? What will happen when you make the down payment? What will happen when you do the clearing? So all those scenarios from the AR and AP point of view, we will try to cover tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, anything else? Any questions? Nikhil, you got those videos, right? You are able to watch the videos
Yeah.
now.
I did. I got it yesterday. Or I think I saw it today morning. Yeah. I'm going to actually look at it right now.
No problem. No problem.
Thank you. Thank you. So are we? Can we also? I don't know. Have you? Is it part of your advanced scenario list? Like if we can do some production order settlements in or internal IO settlement is fine. Don't have to do production order because it'll need way more master data.
Yes,
But
yes. So that's part of the CO replication. We will discuss one
we will do that,
simple
right?
scenario. We will do. Because any scenarios ultimately it is replication. So when you do the settlement or allocation or assessment, you just want to make sure that that is getting replicated in your target system.
Okay, and so anyway, there are a couple of things which I can do. If I have a question, a specific client scenario, is it okay if I send you an email, or
Yeah. So as
I
long
want me
as
to? I can discuss it during the class also, whatever. But I don't want to kind of waste
Nikhil,
every
what we will do is,
other participants' time. That's
yeah. Nikhil, what we will do is we will try to complete the standard thing first.
okay.
Okay, and maybe on the last 1 or 2 days, I will give you the option to, if you have a particular scenario that comes to your mind, or maybe your client scenario, we can discuss on that.
No problem. Sounds good.
Okay, because initially we need to understand end to end, then only we'll be able to give the solution to the client, right?
I think, yeah, what I'll do is maybe after we are fully done with all the components that you have in mind, then maybe my scenario itself may be included, or at least I
Yes,
might have clarity and I may not ask you also. But if
no problem.
if the doubt persists, I'll come up with it.
Yes, yes, yes. If it is very straightforward, you can send me the mail. If it is very straightforward, I'll reply on the mail itself. But if it
No
is
problem.
something like I need to see your system and all, in that case, I think then maybe we can wait till next week.
No problem. No, I don't have a system as yet. We are still in the assessment stage.
Ah, okay. Then you can send the question. I will be
I
able
will
to
send
answer
you the.
it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sir. Thank you.
Okay, chalo. Thank you all. Bye.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.
See you.
Yeah.